One of the new features Google have added is to change your form into a quiz. Teachers have been using forms forever to do quizzes, but you had to use an add-on or manually mark it. Now the form can do some basic quiz work. So let's have a look and see how it works. The first thing you do is you go to Settings and you go to your third option, that's Quizzes, and you'll see there's a little toggle that allows you to make it a quiz. Now let's just look at the options. You can release the results immediately or later after you had a look at it, especially if there's things like case sensitive answers. You might want to override the computer's marking. And you can choose to not give them the results for questions they've left out, or that they can only see the results, the correct answers after it's been released. Otherwise, if you untick this one, they won't know what's the correct answer. So if you're using it as a quiz and clause, you might not want to release the results immediately, since they might not all finish at the same time, or you might not want to give them the correct answer for the ones they got wrong. But I'm going to leave that on. Okay. Now you'll see at the bottom of each question, an option answer key have appeared. At the moment, this question is 0 points, and I'm going to keep it 0 points because I'm not going to give them points for their grade. So I'm going to add a new question, and we're going to make that, who is the author of Lord of the Rings? So typical multiple choice question. Let's change it to multiple choice. And we have J.K. Rowling. We've got J.R.R. Tolkien. We've got give them C.S. Lewis and Jane Austen. Now, for a quiz, multiple choice is your best option, but it can do slightly more than that. Okay, so here we have our 4 options. And now, before I'm going to set the answer, I'm going to actually change it. You can manually, when you click on answer key, you'll see it's almost like this is a little card with the question on the one side and the answer on the other side. So if I click on edit question, it will swap back, answer key. So I can now go and say, okay, Tolkien is the right option. I want to give them 2 points for this. And I want to give them feedback if it's an incorrect answer. I want to say, look at these resources. And then I can actually add a link to a resource. And if it's the correct answer, I can say, well done. Save that. Okay. So now this is like the back of my card with the answers. If I want to go back to the front, I can go to edit question. Now, something to make it slightly easier to do, instead of having to manually set my points for each question, I can click here on the 3 little jelly beans here, go to preferences, and set default quiz point value. Let's say we make them default 2 points. So now if I do my next question, and I'm going to do the same question, you can see that it already allocated 2 points. So it just saves you a little bit of time for that. But this time I'm going to make it a short answer so that I'm not giving them options. Turn my card around, and now I have to tell the computer what to allocate 2 points for. So we have J.R.R. Tolkien, but they might not realize that they need to give the initials. So I'm going to take Tolkien, and maybe they forget capital letters. So I'm going to do it with lowercase letters as well. Mark all other answers incorrect. Again, I can add some feedback. Here, it doesn't give me correct and incorrect. If it's a short question, you can only give general feedback. Okay, and if I click on edit question, it will take me back to the front. And you can see what have changed slightly is now I can see here under the question the correct answers that I have given. The same if I click on this one, it will tell me that I've chosen Tolkien as my correct answer. So let's go and see how the form looks. So here I've got my name, I've got grade, which I have a drop-down menu for. And now I can see my question and I can see that it's 2 points. And let's say we choose the wrong answer. And here we type Tolkien. Okay, submit it. We did say that I should be able to see my results immediately. So I can go to view score. And I should be able to see I got 2 out of 4 because the first one I got wrong. The correct answer was Gerald Tolkien, and here's the resources I can look at. The second one I got right, so there's no comments to it. So that's basically how you can set up a quiz. It takes a little bit of time to set up, but it does make your marking a lot easier. So if you have questions that is basically one word answers or multiple choice, those are the ones that I would really use for a quiz. The other types of questions doesn't really work. Paragraph doesn't really work. The other ones don't really work as multiple choice, as quiz questions. If it's a history question, you might want to do a date one. That can also work. And that's, yeah. And remember to make all the questions required so that they have to choose an answer for each one.